Okay guys, welcome to episode 9 of the series. So currently in this video, we're going to work on users registration, whereby you can come on board, you can create an account for yourself, you get. So without further ado, let's get started right now. So if you've not subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe and also like this video. You understand? So back to our code now. Okay, so we're going to go down to our code now. So we have to create a new file. We're going to call this file sign up page. It's going to be the page where where users can create their account from. Over to the pages folder, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this file sign up. It's called sign up page. .jxx. Sorry, let me say sign up, yeah, page.jxx. It's enter. So right now, here is our sign up page. So I'm going to run the array snippets. Yeah, so we've got it. So right now, I'm going to get in the code for the sign up page. Let me get the code quickly. So I've got the code already. So I'll paste it here. Yeah, so here's our page. And we'll check closely now. We have the label, we have the inputs. These two are coming from ShatCN. So we have to go down to ShatCN UI now. ShatCN UI. So click on it. Click on components. So on the left now, you're going to look for the input field and also the label. So for the input now, yeah, this is the input you are using. So we have to get the code now. How do we get it? First of all, we have to run this. We have to install the inputs. We're going to use npx. Just copy the code. You can just click on here, choose npm, back to your project. Just Ctrl+C, breakout, and then say yes, and then paste the installed command, paste it there. Once that is done, once you've done that now, what's the next step? You have to simply copy this import statement, copy it and back to our form. Just on top, paste that. Right now, let's go look for the label. As for the label, this is our label here. Click on it. So click on code, then pick up the label, just copy it. Paste it just beneath the inputs. All right, let's get the install statement for the label. Here it says just click on here, choose npm, and then back to your code, paste it. Yeah, so that should do it. While our label is installing, let's go create a path for the sign up page, right? Back to your app.jxs. Yeah, so I'm going to simply comment this profile because we are not using it yet. So we are not using it yet. So I'm going to add a new route for our sign up page. I'm going to say route. The path should be equal to, let's just say sign up. That's a better name, sign up. And the element should be equal to sign up page. Suggest it for me. Yep. So got our sign up page there. So if you go down to sign up, you should have your sign up page, right? So back to our nav bar, over to your UI components folder. Here's our nav bar. You have the register button. Here is it. Here is the register button. Because, okay, we already commented at our profile. We commented it out. I'm thinking let's also comment it out here because we are not using it yet. Comment it out to avoid errors. Let's leave it commented. So here is our register. Here's the register link. So what do we do now? I'm thinking. I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna copy. Let me just uncomment this. I'll copy this first, copy, then comment it out, and I'll simply duplicate it. I'll simply duplicate it from my register link. I'll simply put in register here, register. Yes, and then, yeah, and then it should be called sign up. Sign up, right? Yeah, that's how it should be. Let's run the server again. npm run dev. So right now we have our page up again. So click on register. Or it threw an error. Let's click on it. Inspect. Okay, it says link is not defined. In sign up page, link is not defined. We are using the link. We are using the link elements. Link is defined up. Okay, in sign up page, it says link is not defined. We are using the link elements. Oh, we used it here. Oh. Okay, so I think I'll just just copy this. Comment it out. You're going to do a lot of commenting for now. Just say sign in. So back here. Yep, so we got our sign up page now. You can see it. So right now, we are going to simply use React. We are going to use React hook form to validate our form. We are going to use the React hook form to validate this form. You get, so just follow me as I do it. Okay, now let's get to business. Now, right now, we are going to use the React hook form to validate our form on the front end. Okay, so right now, let's get to business. So we are going to use React hook form to validate the form on the front end. You get, so over to our backend, let me show you something. For you to create a new user, we need the username. These are the fields here. We need the username, the first name, the last name, and password. These are the fields we need to create a new user, right? So, and the fields must be these names exactly the same way: username, first underscore name, last underscore name, and password. So right now we are going to use React hook form to validate and also submit this form data, right? So let me make this a bit smaller. So first thing first, we have to install React hook form. So over to your time, I'm going to let's open a new command prompt. So I'm going to say npm install React hook form. I feel this is too small, and I feel it is also too big now. So let's install React hook form. So first thing first, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say const. We have to get some things from React hook form. We need this register. We need the handle submit. I'll show you how they work. And we also need the form states. We also need reset. And this is coming from use form. And use form is coming from React hook form. Okay, React hook form is still getting installed. Let's wait for it. So right now we have React hook form already installed. So let's try this again. I want to get use form from React hook form. Come on, yeah, here it is. So we've got that now. So right now I want to get the fields. You can see we have about 5. How many fields do we have here? What's going on? Our page keeps disappearing. Okay, we are back. So we have about 5 fields right now. So we want to simply get a hold of the values that will be imputed into these fields. So we are simply submitting these 4 fields: the username, the first name, the last name, and the password. The confirm password is just there for you to make sure that you know the password you entered. The confirm password is just there for you, it's just there to like let you know the password you entered, right? Get so we are not submitting the confirmed password. We are only submitting the password and the other fields except the confirmed password. So right now, let's capture this field now. So we are going to use this register key, this register keyword because from React hook form. We're going to use this register right away. So over to our input field now, we're going to add a new line. We're going to call it, we're going to put in, we're going to use the curly braces and then 3 dots, and they're going to say register. So remember, what's the name of the field? The name of our field is called the username. Username. It must match the name we have on the back end. The name we have on the back end over here. Username, first name, last name, password. They must be the same, right? So we've got username there. One thing again, we want to just make sure that this field is required, right? I'm going to say required. I'm going to say username is required. I'm going to say username is required. And also say, I'm going to say the minimum length of username should be 3. I'm going to say min length should be 3. I'm going to say the value should be 3. And the message, if you input anything less than 3, we are going to return a message to you. I'm going to just simply say username field must be at least 3 characters. So we are going to say username field, username must be at least 3 characters. So I'm going to simply break this. So right now, we've got this field right away. We've got the name. We had this. We had to add some validations. So what if this? Let's say someone comes now and inputs 2 characters, or let's say someone comes now and did not input anything into the username field. What should we do? We have to display an error message, and we are going to do that just under this input field. We are going to display an error message just here. So you're going to check if going to say right now we have to import errors. And we're going to get errors from use state. I'm going to say const errors. We're going to get errors from form state rather, not use state. Should come from form state. Yeah. So right now, if any of the if the user fails any of this validation, wants to display an error message, we're going to say errors. Then we're going to use a question mark because the user might input a value there and we don't want to display an error. This question mark is just like there might not be any error on the username. So if you don't use a question mark, it's going to throw an error because there might not be error, there might be an error. We're not sure. That's why we are using the question mark. So I'm going to say errors.username.message. So we're going to put another question mark here. So if any errors occurs on the username field, you want to simply display this error message. I'm going to say small. I'm going to use this small tag. I'm going to say errors.username.message. So I have to give this. I have to give this some class name. I'm going to say class name should be equal. So I'm going to say the color of the text should be red. Color of the text should be red. Let's get red 700. So now go down to your username right now. Okay, right now that's it now. So I'm going to just copy this stuff for the other fields. For the first name field, I'm going to change this to first name. This should be, I'm going to say first name is required. I'm going to say first name should be at least 3 characters. And as for the error message, let's copy this. I'm going to say errors.first underscore name. This should be first name too. Copy, paste here. Yes, so let's do the same thing for the last name. I'm going to say last name, small l, last underscore name. I'm going to say last name is required. We're going to say last name must be at least 3 characters. As for the error message, let's copy this line. You say first, that should be last name now. Yep. What next is the password. They're going to copy the same thing, but there'll be a slight difference. I'm going to say password. I'm going to say password is required. Right now, the password should be at least 8 characters, not 3. Let's say password must be at least 8 characters. And for the error message, I'm going to say password. And lastly, let's copy this again for the confirm password. We'll call this confirm password. You're going to say password is required, at least 8 characters. And right now, I'm going to check one more thing again. We want to make sure that the password is the same. We want to make sure that the confirm password is the same as the password. So right now, we're going to simply get a right now. Once we want to get the value of the confirm of the password. Right now, we're going to import watch. So right now, we want to get the value of our password field. We're going to say const password should be equal to. We're going to say watch the password field. Password. Yeah, so that's what we want to do. And over to our confirm password field. We want to make sure, we want to check if the password field and the confirm password field are the same. We want to check for that. Over to our confirm password. So over to our confirm password. Here's our confirm password now. Right now, we're going to just validate. We're going to add a custom validate function. We're going to say validate. Right now, we're going to just say data. Data represent the current value in the confirm password field. That's what data represents. We're going to say data. We're going to say data equal to value. If they are the same thing, that means there is no problem. So if they're the same thing, so we're then going to say or. We're going to say password do not match. So if this is true, the right side will be neglected. Sorry, it's called value, not data. It's called value. This is value. I'm going to say if the value represents the current, represent the value of the confirm password field. We're going to compare the value with the password, with the value of the password field, and we got that like this. I'm going to say const password should be equal to watch password, whereby this password here is referring to the value of the password field. So I'm going to say password now. We are trying to confirm the value of the confirm password field to the value of the password field. So right here we are saying, where is it again? So we are trying to say if value is equal to password, if right now, if this is true, the right side will be ignored. If this is false, the right side will be displayed. Understand? So that's it. So right now we have to undo the on submit. So we have to undo the form submission. So we are going to simply just going to say const on submit data. Am I correct? Okay, let me just use a normal function. Let's just say function. Oh, I didn't get this. Let's say function. I'll say on submit. I'll say data. I'll say console.log data. So over to our form now. Just break this guy. What an unsubmit? You're going to say unsubmit. So you're going to say call this undo submit here. And then passing on submit. So let's put in the equal sign here. I forgot. Yep. So what we need to do now. So we're not done. So let's just go to our browser. If I try submitting this now, you're going to see we're going to have the different error messages here. If I submit, because it says username is required. This is required, right? So what I'm going to import something in all of them. So if I put in 2 characters there, if I put in a single character, I can say username must be at least 3 characters. If I put in here, you can see says first name must be at least 3 characters. See, this is coming from React hook form. Understand? So if you fail any of the condition, any of the validations, the error message will be displayed out for you. If the field is empty, you're going to have username is required or first name or password. If the length of the value is not up to 3, you're going to have the error that tells you that the value should be at least 3 characters. And as for the password, if our password does not match, I'm going to enter different random password now and click on it. You can see now it says sorry, back to our code now. We are going to have some error message for the password field. The password. Okay, I did not add that for the confirm password. It's meant to say the password do not match, but I didn't add it, so that's why then it's going to say confirm password. It's your code now. You can see now I say password do not match. It's called passwords, not just password. Passwords do not match. So you can see now we have that here, passwords do not match. Submit. They don't match, right? So right now we've got this now. So once everything, so if you get everything right, you're not meant to see this error message. We are meant to console out. We're meant to console out the data. Yeah. Right. So let's try. I'm going to input some valid I'm going to input some valid values. And I'm going to say cleansing. Let me say cleansing again. Let me say Machiko. That's my surname. I'm going to put in the password, something that is correct, at least 8 characters, and they match. Right now, open the, let's see our inspect the console. Let's clear it, and then click on submit. Right now, you can see we got our actual data. The data is coming from here, right? We got everything we imputed. That's it. So what's the next step now? So once you sign up, I mean, so this is just happening on the front end. What about the back end? So let's go work on the back end now. So back to our code now. Back to our back end code. Already have the endpoint for creating a new user. The endpoint is called register user. Register user. Here's the endpoint. So we're going to go down to our backend code now. Back over to the file called our API blog.js is in the services folder. So API blog.js. Now, so we're going to create a new function for registering new users. I'm going to say function. I'm going to say register user. Let's register user. Okay, that's fine. I would have loved to call it sign up, but that's fine. Leave it like that. So I'm going to say this is going to be an asynchronous function. I'm going to say async, and we also need to export it. Right. So right now, what we're doing is simple. We're going to use our try catch again. I'm going to say const response. should be equal to API.post, and it's called register underscore user. That's our endpoint. Register underscore user, then forward slash. So while trying to make a post request, you're expected to pass a data. You're expected to send a data to the backend. Remember, we are trying to send this data we got here. Where's data again? We are trying to send this. We are trying to send this data from the form to the backend to create a new user, right? So we are expecting the data. So we are going to. We are expecting the data from the front end. We are going to say data should. We are going to pass. We are going to pass the data over to this function, and we also need it here. We also need the data here. We're going to say data. We need it there too. So we're going to simply return a response. We're going to say return response, the data. So if there's an error, we're going to simply check out for that error. We're going to say catch error. So right now we're going to check. We're going to say, so right now the only error we can have from the backend, the only error that we can get on the backend is when you try to create a user with a username that already exists. That's when we can have an error from the backend. If you try creating a user with an existing username, we are going to get an error from the backend. Else, all other errors will be handled here on the front end. All other errors here will be caught on the front end, whereby you cannot even submit the form. Where you understand? So, but the only error that will not be caught on the front end is where you try using a username that already exists. And for that error to occur, we're going to say if error the status is equal to 400. So if the error status is 400, that means you tried creating a user with an existing username. So right now, what do we do? So if the error status is 400, so we're going to then say throw new error. We're going to say throw new error. Or simply just say username already exists. So else we just throw out the normal error we used to have. Else throw new error. I'll say error.message. Yep, so we've got that. But I wonder why we're having this red sign here. So this should be await. We have to pass in the await here. Could that be the problem? Oh, I spelled response wrongly. That's the thing. So I'm going to explain what's going on here. I'm going to explain for you guys. So I'd love to also console.log the error. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So now we've got our function ready. It is an asynchronous function because we are using the React query, and we have to also export the function so we can be able to import it in another file. So back to the sign up page now. So we're going to use previously we have been using useQuery. useQuery is used for fetching data. But right now we are trying to make a post request. So we are going to use the use mutation. So I'm going to say const mutation. I'm going to say const mutation should be equal to use mutation. Previously we used use query. Right now we're using use mutation. I'm going to say mutation function should be equal to, right now it's going to be, it's called register user is the name of our function, register user. Right now we're expecting a data to be passed to it. Right, so you can also pass that data here. Yeah, so then we're going to just say on success, if everything goes well, I want to simply return an alert that says registration was successful. Right, so we have to use, we are going to use we are going to use a package called React Toastify. I'm going to say React. I think we've used React Toastify before. React Toastify. So use it here. It's called Toastify. So click on the npm link. So right now we are on the website, React Toastify's website. So we are going to follow their guide. It's a very simple guide. First thing first, let's install React Toastify. Copy the command, the install command. Put this up. So just paste it there. So while it's installing, let's keep on configuring it. So go down to your app layouts. We're going to copy these two lines, copy them, and over to the app layouts. Go down to your UI components. You find a component called app layout. So paste these two lines. Just paste it there. So on this component, we only need this toast container. We don't need toast yet. We don't need toast yet. We don't need those yet. So now we have to then scroll down and copy this toast container. And we'll just paste it just under the navbar. Is fine. Yeah, so I think we've set up our toast like that. So I think we are still trying to install. Oh, I didn't even hit enter. So now let's try and install the React Toastify package. So it's done installing. Back to the sign up page now. So whenever there is a success, whenever we are able to log in successfully, we are going to simply just say toast. So you have to import this toast from React Toastify. Click on it, see it up here. Then we're going to say toast.success. We just say you have successfully created an account. That's it. So that's when, and then we want to also reset the page, whereby if we submit the form, want to make sure that the page goes empty, right? So we have to import resets from here. We already have resets there. So let me just call out, it's going to say resets. That's when, if everything goes well, that's when if the try block is successful, or if the try block fails, that means the catch block is going to run. So if the catch block runs, we want to also undo what happens on the front end. So you're going to come over here and say on error, just add a comma there. Say on error, I'm going to say toast.error. We're expecting an error message from our backend. So the error we are going to be having here, I'm going to say error.message. This error we are having here is coming from this username already exists, or from here. So right now, what we're going to do now is simple. And how do we call the function? How do we call it? So how do we call the sign up function? So sorry, this mutation is not meant to be in an object. I'm going to say mutation. Mutation like this. So over to this onSubmit. Where are you onSubmit? So the onSubmit, let's bring down the onSubmit. Let's bring it down. Over to our onSubmit now. So we're going to call this mutation function in this onSubmit. I'm going to paste it there. I'm going to say mutation.mutate, and then we pass in the data. Right. So this is what we need to do. And pass, going to say mutation. Mutation is an object. Mutation is an object. Inside of the mutational object, we have the mutate. The mutate is the exact function we need to run. That's why I said mutation.mutate, and then we pass in the data. This data is see as the values from our form. And I tell you that why trying to register a user, we are expecting a data that we need to send to the backend, right? This and over to the sign up page, we are getting that data from the form we are trying to submit. You get, so now let's try and see. This should work, this should work, this should work. So right now let's try and see. So I want to also prove to you about this error status 400. We are only going to have an error with status 400 whenever you try to use an existing username to create an account. That's why I have to console the error, so I'll show it to you. So back to our code now. I'm gonna say, let's try. I'm gonna say jnet. Our first name should be jnet also. Last name, let's say Janet Mike or Janet Michael. The password, let's put in something there. So I'm gonna input another. I'm gonna input a different password now. Click on sign up. Right now it says password do not match. So I'm gonna input the correct password. So let me just clear out this and then click on sign up. Oh, it threw an error. We can't even see the error message, but there was an error. It says status 500. We couldn't see the error message. No, we are meant to see the error message. Okay, I get the reason why we couldn't see the error message. Back to our API block. We are meant to see the error message. I'm meant to say this should be, yeah, this should be just throw new error. Throw new error. Yeah, this is, it's not meant to be error.message again. This should be error. It should be the error object, not the actual message. So over to our sign up page. So we are going to then display the actual message if there's an error. You get, so let's try again. We submit it. Right now it says request field with status code 500. You can see here, over to my right now in the console, I consoled the error out. Remember, I had to console the error out in my, I had to console out the error for me to show you something. Yeah. And right now the error status is saying 500. It says 500. Assuming it was 400, it would have shown the, right now we could have seen the pop-up. Right now we could have seen the toast. The toast would have displayed username already exists. Assuming this, assuming the status code was 400, but right now it is 500. It's displaying something else. That's fine. So let's go down to our backend and see what the problem is on the backend. The backend says, oh, okay, I know what the problem is. Back to our serializers. Let's add the email. Okay, so I'm going to remove this email field. We are not submitting the email field, and over here I was checking for the email field. Let's simply remove it. We are not submitting the email field. The one we are submitting is enough. So that was the problem. That was the cause of the problem. So back to our code now. Click on the click on the button again. Sign up. Ouch. Let's see what the error is this time. Okay, right now we also need to remove the email from here. We are not using the email field. Let's also remove it from here. The email is not being used in this project. So click on the sign up button. Right now it says you are successfully created an account. Right, and you check closely, the form is now blank. Let's check out our error, our success message. It says you have successfully created an account. So that's done. Go down to the backend now. You see that we have Janet on the backend. You see we have Janet there. I'm going to go. Let me show that. I'm going to say 127.8001/admin. So click on users. You can see we have Janet, right? So I'm going to try using Janet again. I'll try. I'm going to say JNet. JNet. I'm trying to use the same username again. Remember, we already have JNet in our database. JNet already exists as a username, and you cannot use the name again because username are meant to be unique, right? So, but right now we are trying to use it again. So I'm going to click on sign up. Because it says now username already exists, and the status is saying 400. And over to our API blog, I said that if the error status is 400, simply return this error message, right? We can return a custom error message if you want to, right? So that's that. That's it now. So we're not done yet. So I want to also make sure that whenever we are trying to create an account, I want to display a loader on this button that shows that an account is being created. Hope you understand. So we are going to use a smaller spinner. We are going to use a smaller spinner this time. So I'm going to create a new component and I'll call this small spinner.jxx, and I'll get the code for it quickly. I just say RAFCE. So I'm going to get the code. I'm going to get the code quickly. So back here, I'll simply just replace everything in the code I copied. Yeah. So this is coming from the React spinner we used earlier. The same thing. So now over to our sign up page now. Over to the page now. So just where we have just before remember in the use query we add an object. We add a destructured object that returned is spending, is error, is and data. You understand? But this you get we also have the same thing here. But this time around, I am not destructuring the objects. I am using the objects the way it is. So right now I'm going to just come over to the button. I'm going to say, instead of having to display just this sign up here, we're going to do something now. I'm going to say if mutation dot is pending, if it is true, I'm going to simply return, let's return a new stuff. I'm going to say, I want to return our small spinner, right? And also, I want to also return, I'll just come over here and just say, let's return this. I will just simply just say, return a small, I just say a small text saying creating user with 3 dots. Let me just give it a text size. Let me just say class name, a text size of, let us say 16 pixels. This from Tailwind CSS. Let me just save the else. If mutation dot is pending is true, I want to display this small spinner and this text that says creating user, else or just display another small text that simply just says sign up. Sorry, this should be outside of the fragments that says sign up. Just save this. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh, we're having to sign up there. Let's remove the other one that was there. Okay, now let's try new user. I could just come over here and say Christian. Let's just say Chris. Or let's just say Cristiano, and then we'll say Christian. And his user, let's say the last name is Wachiko. My brother is Christian. His name is Christian. And then I'll say Baka. Let's input the password. So click on sign up. It says password do not match. Let's input some. Let's make sure they match. Click on sign up. You can see now we have this loading sign. You can see now it says you are successfully created an account. That's perfect. So right away, go down to the back end. You're gonna see we refresh the page and we have Christian, perfect, right? So that's 9. So right now in this video, we just covered, I just showed you how to how to sign up new users. So if you gain some value, please subscribe, like the video, and in the next video, we are going to cover JWT authentication. Next video is all about JWT authentication. So see you there.